Alright, welcome to another screencast. So this screencast, I'm going to show you how to calculate the measures of central tendency that we discussed in class, including mean, median, mode. Then also how to calculate two measures of variability using Excel. And those two measures of variability are going to be our score range and our standard deviation. So the Excel document we're going to be working with today is the universal screening graph that we use to calculate local norms. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Now we're going to be using this just because this way you can have all this information in one place. So let's go ahead and start with calculating our mean. So I'm going to put all the labels for the values that we are going to obtain under column H right here all the way down at the bottom. So it's going to be H109. Column H, row 109, cell H109. So go ahead and type in mean. Right below that, we're going to do our median. Type in median, and we're going to do mode. And then we're going to leave a space because now we're going to start, this is going to be the area where we calculate our measures of variability. So with Excel, you can't just calculate range. You have to do two intermediary calculations before you come up with range. Super easy to do, so just bear with me. Our first cell here at H113, type in maximum. Below that, type in minimum. Then type in range below that. And below that one, type in SD. That stands for standard deviation. So here the maximum that we typed in cell H113 just represents our maximum score. So we're going to input a formula to find the maximum score, and then we're going to input a formula to find our minimum score, and then we're going to input a formula to subtract our minimum from our maximum to find our range. So let's go ahead and get started with mean. Before we do that, our array, which remember is the entire expanse of data that we're going to be using. So it starts here, and the array encompasses every number starting from 57 all the way down to 113. So the array we're going to be working with is column I, row 2, so I2, all the way to I65. So that's going to be our array we're working with. So just go ahead and write that down. It'll make it that much easier. You won't have to refer back to, you won't have to scroll up to figure out what that is each time. Let's go all the way down. Now you should already have your percentiles calculated. So right below that, now we're going to do our measures, central tendency. So the first thing you're going to do is type enter. Oops. Don't do that. Make sure you click on the cell where you want to enter the formula, which is cell I109. Double click it so you can type into it. Type the equal symbol equals average. Type the word average and then parentheses. Now put your array in. So it's I2 colon I65 parentheses, press enter. Alright, so our mean is 77.20968. Now we're going to calculate our median. Double click on cell I110 so we can type into it. Equal sign, type the word median, parentheses, put your array in, I2 colon I65, parentheses, press enter. Now we have our median. Now let's figure our mode. So double click cell I111, equal sign, type the word mode, parentheses, then you're going to put your array in. So again, I2, colon, I65, parentheses, press enter. Okay. Now we're going to calculate our measures of variability. So first thing we have to do using Excel is we have to find our maximum score or our highest score. So double click on cell I113, equal sign, type the word maximum, type the word max, parentheses, then put your array in, I2, colon, I65, parentheses, enter. So our highest score in our array is 157. Now we're going to find our minimum score. Double click on cell I114, equal sign, type NIN, parentheses, put your array in, I2, colon, I65, parentheses, press enter. Now you could just calculate that by hand, or maybe you could do it mentally if you can. But if you want to auto-calculate it for your array on this spreadsheet, what you're going to do is you're going to double-click, equal sign. Now you're going to type in the cell that contains your maximum score. So that is I113 equals I113, then put minus. Now you're going to enter the cell that contains the minimum score, which is I114. Press enter. Now you have your range. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to calculate our standard deviation. So double click on cell I116 right there, equal sign. Type in SDV, STDEV, so you're going to type in equal sign STDEV, parentheses, then simply input your array, I2, colon, I65, parentheses, enter. And there's your standard deviation. Now, if you want this calculated for the other three columns that would contain scores, just simply click on this cell, click and drag, highlight it. If you're a Mac user, use Command C. PC user, copy that, copy. Click over here on cell J109. Mac user, press Command V. PC user, paste. Okay, and then copy and paste this column. Just repeat, do the same thing over here. So now, you should have an Excel spreadsheet that auto-calculates 90th, 75th, 50th, 25th, and 10th percentiles for any measure that you input in there. And it should also calculate the 3 measures of central tendency, as well as 2 measures of score variability. Plus, it should auto-calculate student performance after you put in your local normative data up here. So, one last thing. If you go to use this when you get into the field, you're obviously not going to want these pre-populated scores that I've got in column I, column J, and column K. So what you can do, you have 2 options. You can either go through and delete them by hand, or you can go to whatever the first score is, so column or cell I2, J2, or K2. For this example, I'm going to use column J. So start at cell J2, click it, highlight it, all the way down to where you have scores. Then go up to Edit up here at the top. Go to Clear, and you want to clear contents. Only click Clear Contents. If you click Clear Formats or Clear All, then it will significantly impact the functionality of the graphing and anything else that is attached, anything else in the spreadsheet that's attached to that data. Whereas if you just click Clear Contents, remember Edit, Clear Contents, if you just click Clear Contents, it will literally only clear the scores and won't upset any of the formatting. So, there you have it. Hope that's helpful.